evening. Welcome to the Crone Zone Conversations with the Ancient. My name's Priscilla, and Heather's next to me, although I'm going to put our guests, Diana Bowles and Valerie from Illumination Portal, on the screen. How is everybody tonight?
One of these days, you got to show me how to move people around on this.
You just put your little hand up there and move it. Hold your key down, hold the little hand over, and move it. It's easy.
Oh man!
I don't know that you can do it because you're not.
Not
streaming, but hey, Bora Bora, Gina's place. Nice to see you. Hi, everyone. Boy, I can see the sage a burning, Valerie.
Yeah, Valerie's burning the sage.
Okay, I'm going to see how this works.
Diana got sweetgrass and I got sage. We're good. We're balancing it out. Hi, Mary Ellen.
It's not sharing screen, is it?
November.
Oh, okay. It just took it a minute on my other computer. That's really strange.
Hi, Ross.
Well, Heather, I must be blocked from the chat in your on Crone Zone. In order to be seen with Hello Tribal Dancers, I had to go to Valerie's channel.
How is that?
That's very
strange.
I have tried to post Hello Tribal Dancers 3 times on the Crone Zone. It wasn't showing up, and it's not allowing me to text on.
Are you streaming?
No.
That's why.
That's why.
But I'm always, I never stream, and I never stream, and I'm always able to just type.
I have no idea why, sweetheart. You're not blocked.
Some of the time I can't do it unless I'm streaming.
I know.
Well, they used to have that problem with me all the time.
So it must be something about the channel then.
It must be.
I don't have that problem with anybody else that I'm on with.
And you didn't have that problem last time either.
It's neither here nor there. It's not something we can fix right now. That's for sure.
Can you do it on your phone?
Yes, but that's why it should be showing up, because I am doing it on my phone.
That's so strange.
And when I do it on my phone from the Crone Zone, it's not showing up. But when I sit in Illumination Portal, it's showing up.
Well, hang out in Illumination Portal.
I don't see it either.
Yeah, I am.
Sorry about that. I don't know how to change it.
It's not showing up on mine either.
Well,
yours is not showing up, and Diane's is not showing up on mine.
It will only show up on the Crone Zone one, I guess.
Well, that's just it. It's not.
That's just it on the Crone
Zone.
It's
not in. Right. I'm looking at the chat that goes with StreamYard, so I can see both.
Heather's there.
Coming in.
I'm there, but she's not.
I understand.
But I can't. Right.
I have Bora, and there's Oil Painter. You came up. You showed up.
Yeah, you're on.
Yeah, but I showed up from Valerie's channel, not from yours. I've already put that in 3 times from Crone Zone, and it won't post.
Don't know
it
why.
Won't post to Crone Zone just on my cell phone. So something's up.
There's always there's always something weird happening, don't you think, guys? I think there's always something.
And I know that we're in a huge magnetic storm right now.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that too.
So I don't know. Technical issues. I don't know why I disappeared. I moved my thing. I went away. Hey, Leah. Good to see you. So the ladies up top, Valerie and Diana, they're going to talk to us tonight all about the full moon that's coming up. And there's so much more. There's like Uranus conjunct the moon, Mercury going retrograde, Mars and Leo,
and Mars going retrograde.
Everything in the last few months, there's been so much stuff going on.
It really has. It's just been crazy.
Yeah.
And it doesn't seem to change.
No, but it's not going to either. That's kind of something we've been saying, Diana and I've been saying for months. It's time.
Months and months.
it was going to come to this point. Well, and it's been intense. It's not even, it's just escalating now, and
Yeah.
it's really going to get crunchy. Okay, so here we are. We can see it's really
So what you're telling me is the next 18, I mean, month and a half, November, December,
right. January too.
January is going to be crazy.
Yeah.
That kind of goes along with the political situation right now too, doesn't it?
Well, that's what we've been. Well, I
Interesting,
mean,
isn't
it's
it?
not. It just kind of, that's the way the astrology is, but it is definitely, we're seeing it play out in the collective with the political stuff, right, and the election and everything, and basically here we are. Freedom is at stake. I mean, this is where we're at with it. Now I bring that up because, over the last couple of years we've had the America's first Pluto return in Capricorn, which is just coming out of. It'll come out on the 19th and go into Aquarius for the next 20 years, and that's going to be a big release point. But this full moon is on the 15th. The day of this full moon also is when Saturn stations direct, coming out of his retrograde. Now he stations direct. Doesn't mean he's moving. He's not going anywhere. He's kind of just vibing there, getting his bearings.
Where is he? Where did
He's
you
in Pisces.
It's a very
12.
powerful place where
Right.
when they
Right.
station to go direct or station to go retrograde, because
Yeah.
it's like shifting gears.
Right.
You know, you got to rev the engine in order to make it kind of movement. So
Right.
this is the strength of the power of standing still. And this is a time when the planet is absorbing.
Right.
It's intense. Now there's a lot of nice things in this chart, but the first thing off the bat, which that's going to rule this chart, is the moon conjunct Uranus, which rules Aquarius. Okay, so Uranus is known for shocks and surprises, but Aquarius is known for that freedom. The humanitarian brilliance, genius, thinking outside the box. So something in wherever this is in our chart, wherever Taurus is, whatever house it is for you. Okay, it's in your first house, Priscilla, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to do something. It's going to make a sudden change, whether it's a physical change, a belief change, it could be anything, right? Anything that rules you emotionally. Now the moon is in Taurus. Who rules the moon? Venus, right? I'm sorry. Who rules Taurus? Venus. What you love and value. So that's kind of up at stake. But where's Venus? Venus is at 4 degrees Capricorn. She's using her head. She's not going to make any rash decisions. And she's in our chart, she's in the East Coast. She's in the 8th house. So she's not, which is where DC is. Okay, so let's use that as a main point. That's going to, females in charge. Venus is what you love. She represents the divine feminine. Venus is in Capricorn, going to use her another earth sign, right?
Right.
Taurus is an earth sign. Moon and Uranus over there in Taurus. Even though it's going to be spicy over there, she's kind of holding space. Well, her and Pluto. Pluto's in Capricorn, so all 3 earth signs, kind of giving you that ability to make mature decisions, responsible decisions, right. Not to take yourself, not to go off half-cocked. Okay, so let's just, even though that Uranus is there with that moon in Taurus, where it could be very spicy for you, I mean, to think whether it's something going or something coming in, because something, a big surprise could be, oh, I just won $100,000, or I just lost $100,000. Go either way.
Right.
But you can, depending on how you feel about that is how it's going to affect you personally. But we're going to see this play out in the collective. We're talking about the collective.
Well, and we're going to start to feel that grand trine in air, because Pluto is only 2 days away from being in air, from being at 0 degrees, where Sedna is at 0 degrees of Gemini. Pluto will be at 0 degrees of Aquarius. And then we have, we have the South Node. Is it the South Node? Yes, at the South Node in Libra, albeit at 5 degrees, but he's ticking backwards. Remember that the nodes move in the opposite direction from the way that the planets go. So the planets go counterclockwise and the nodes go clockwise. So he's ticking back.
Interesting.
Now, because
let me know when you want me to split up this slideshow, ladies, because it's got the dates, everything goes, so that you could.
Well, now don't forget, we're on what's today, the 9th. The full moon is until next Friday.
Exactly.
So we're building up. Okay, we're building up this energy.
Let me see what's on here real quick.
It's the last super full moon. It's the last one of the 4. So this is a good release. You want to release those things that aren't what we always say, Dinah. Release what is
no longer serves your purpose.
Thank you.
Serving your purpose good is how
we have mystic rectangles in the sky right now, and on the 9th.
Yes,
right?
We do.
And those, they're a little cattywampus, but it's Venus and Paleothena, and they're jutting over to now I just lost it. Here we go.
It just left the galactic center. Well, they're still in orb. They're still in
27 degrees. Venus is at 27 degrees of Sagittarius, so she's still at the center.
So how does a Mercury and Venus, if Venus is moving into Sagittarius, it is in Sagittarius, how does she and Mercury get along? Just curious.
Well, they just depends.
Yeah, it depends where they are, what's going on. Yeah.
Of course.
Right. Mercury right now is in Sagittarius at 9 degrees.
And that's good.
She's at the other end. And that puts them in that parallel that I keep talking about. They're in different houses, right? She's in the sky. What time did I print this out? 7:15 this evening. So she had moved into the 7th house for that rising sign here in the east, adjust for your time zone. But Mercury's down there at 9 degrees. So they're in that same, we're only 20 degrees apart. We're close. And so we're talking.
We're talking.
And Mercury in the 6th house is this is how you serve your purpose. And this with her being in the 7th house, you get to take this opportunity to take care of yourself first. Because when you are standing in your core, and I'm not necessarily talking about the chakras by themselves, I'm not talking about that kind of an alignment, but your core, what makes you happy? Is doing the dishes by hand make you happy? Cleaning the house make you happy? Then those are the things that you do to stand in your core. And by standing in your core and fulfilling what you need, you're catchy. And everybody around you chuckles and says, oh my God, look at how she's moving. And I want part of that energy. And then helps them find where their personal core is.
And that goes right along. I did draw a card for the show before we started. And the card was, look to see where you're putting your energy.
Yeah.
Is that where you want it?
And I can't tell you how many times I've pulled the Hermit today.
Yeah.
And, I did have interaction with a couple of my neighbors, but it was like, I can't stay. I can't talk. I got to go. Give me this. Let me take care of that for you. And I'll talk to you tomorrow when it's all done, and I'll let you know how it turned out. Because I had some salve that I wasn't happy with the consistency of, and I wanted to just melt it all down and reformulate and put like some shea butter in there so that it would have something to emulsify it, because I'm working with a new vegan wax, which is bayberry wax, which is fabulous, right?
Ooh, I
But
love
when
the
you
smell
start
of
mixing
bayberry.
it with oil, you've got to come up with the formula that's going to work. Now, beeswax, 2 tablespoons with 2.5 cups of oil, and you're good to go. But it's not that way with bayberry, right? So anyways, I figured it out enough to get this batch going, but the formula is going to be all wrong because, you know, I just took what I had and redid it. So I'll still
That's what I
have
used to do
fuss with
too.
the math. And math is not my strong suit.
Mhm.
But
No,
anyways,
no.
you know,
Okay, let's go back to this.
so-
Mercury and Sag.
So wait, what?
Sorry.
Okay.
that-
First, let's. No, don't be sorry. I was just going to say. Oh shoot! Now I forget what I was going to say. Boom. Okay. So super new moon in Taurus, right?
yeah.
At the same day, Saturn stations direct in Pisces, 12 degrees. I think it's 12. At that, yeah, 12 on here. Mercury, go ahead. Mercury's in Sag at this point, so we're getting the higher consciousness information. Go ahead. Go ahead. Whoever's reading.
Oh,
I don't.
let's see if we can read that. November 2nd.
I can read it. This energy will bring out the collective need to find answers, expand oneself, seek higher education, learn more about their spirituality, and choose to explore the world more.
Yeah.
They work hand in hand. Jupiter is Sagittarian rulership, and Mercury is Gemini, and those two are
Opposing.
but opposing is a conjunction at a distance. And as long as you look at an opposition that way, you will work it out. But if you go, oh, they're opposite, it's a challenge, then you don't rise to the challenge. You let the challenge beat you down.
Right.
Oh, yeah, that's so true. I love how you explained that. And so Jupiter is talking to Mercury, who's in Sagittarius. So he's getting even more advanced, higher information coming through to him. Okay, Mercury's in Sag, but Jupiter's over there in Gemini, also getting all these downloads. You know, that's an air sign, getting the brilliance. So he's sharing that. You know, that information. Now, do we know what that is?
It just dawned on me. No wonder
What?
I got so much done today. Jupiter's sitting on my sun in Gemini. And my moon is in Sagittarius. So I was gangbusters today.
Yeah, because, and then that sun.
I started some things. Is it okay if I go over there? Because you were talking about the core.
Yep.
And White
Hey,
Dragon
Paul.
says, core is good, says Arthur the Arcturian. But he also says, let me go back over here. Laurie Hunsinger, correct. This is important to get through the next few weeks of chaos.
Yep.
And
that's
wow,
what I wanted to
in our
say.
course, part of the message Michael gave you, right? White Dragon? Am I remembering this message exactly? So I thought those were really interesting that those go into whatever you were explaining.
Well, think about it, right? Since the election, okay, those of us who felt like we got gut punched, right, are still in shock. A lot of people are still in shock, are still not able to, let go of, oh my goodness, what's going to happen. And it's what's on our mind, right? All of this that's going on for the next couple of moon cycles, right, is determining how, it doesn't determine it.
But it's showing us how.
Yeah, it shows you the path. It shows you where the arrows are being pointed, right?
This is your parts fortune. The parts fortune transiting, the parts fortune in your chart. How is all of this meshed together? This is your moment of spiritual ascension.
Yes.
The blessing in disguise. And you've got to stay cored on that.
Stay grounded. Stay spiritual.
This is your apple seed.
Yes.
You know, you can grow so many trees, but if you don't plant the seed, if you don't pay attention to the seed,
Right.
they just sit in a rotten apple core, you know.
And you know, and not only do we have parts of fortune with a spiritual, you know, flavor, we got Neptune over there, definitely in a spirit, in Pisces, who's and Vesta. Vesta's right there next to the South Node too. Let go of anything. Okay, so this could be beliefs about, you know, organized religion that have held you back. That could be an example of what to let go with all this spiritual stuff in the chart. Because if you're not making room for the new to come in,
That's
the new
right.
higher consciousness, the new spiritual, however you want to word that, spiritual consciousness or higher consciousness, then you're just going to keep, you know, revolving in those repeated patterns. With this Taurus, this, you know, this earth sign, okay, it's a Taurus it's a full moon, super full moon in Taurus. That's making things in the physical, that we're going to see that physically play out. Taurus doesn't like to move fast. He's got Uranus right next to him, and something's going to pop off. Taurus does not like that, doesn't like to get things out of left field. Well, who does, really, right? Isn't that kind of what just happened to all of us this week? Boom, I know I wasn't expecting the results we heard at all. And
I didn't expect the result that came. I didn't expect it to be that fast. And
nobody did.
And the way it came across, my gut from the instant I started watching was like, something's off here. Something is way the fuck off. And that has continued.
Even MAGAs are saying that. So
right. And that could be a collective spiritual, like as we're talking about these spiritual points in the chart, where with next to that South Node there, release. You know, how do we release? How are we going to are we all just going to say, oh, okay, yeah, I accept that. When I feel my freedoms and my rights as a sovereign being are at stake. No, I can't just say, okay, well, let's just do kumbaya and all get along.
White Dragon, that result is not going to hold. I know that in my heart. I know that every single one of us needs to hold that in our heart with love and light. Yeah. It's the only way we're going to beat this darkness. The forces that be know, they know. They're looking into it. Yep. That five eyes, there are so many things happening behind the scenes. I know in my heart.
Yep.
We just need to keep the love. We won. We won. Love won. Joy won. They're trying to take it. The dark side is trying to take it away, and it's not gonna hold if we all hold the light. Sorry.
Let's talk about this for a second, because we were going along with the resistance. We're part of the resistance, but we weren't really vibing with that, because resistance means to resist, right? So
and what you resist, you persist. What you resist persists, and we don't want to be that. We want to be light.
We want to talk about the liberation movement.
Exactly.
And then goodness gracious, my brain just went blank.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
Advocating liberty through love. And that was what we were talking about before when we were backstage. These are things that, I mean, I can't just sit by and say, oh, well, we're just going to wait, even though we do got to sit by. I know when Inauguration Day comes, he's not being inaugurated. He's not becoming our president. I'll stick by that. I might be wrong. Everything might blow up in my face, but I doubt it. I have not felt that. I've never seen it.
I'm with you. I don't know how it could possibly happen, but the insanity of what actually happened, what we know actually happened, anything's possible, especially with the light workers believing in the light.
He told us how it
He told us he was going to do it, and he told us how he was going to do it.
He said she's got a little device that helps every vote for me turn into a vote for her. He told you. He told us exactly how it worked this time, and he told us exactly how it worked with Hillary, because he said it's rigged if she wins. That's because she would have had to outrig him.
Yes.
And she didn't play that, homie.
You guys, we've gotten a bit off track.
It's
back to astrology.
Obviously, we're not over it.
It's
the
not
moon is in Aquarius right now. Of course, we're not over it.
Right, and it's not off track. We have to talk about this. This is the main thing that's going on that is going to be bumpy.
It is.
Right?
The algorithm, Sandra said. Did you guys watch, what's the guy that always does his show outside? That's so, I think
what's his name?
Tim Wilde.
Dave Johnson.
Yeah.
Dave Johnson. He was talking about how he was seeing all these numbers, and I'm thinking, that's the algorithm. He's seeing the numbers from the computer, whatever downloads that they were doing, however their software or whatever they were doing.
And there's proof of that guy, that cybersecurity guy, that it's on Linda G. She was talking about it in her last video, and I think she posted it on her community page. And the whole article is about him telling you how they can rig the machines. And
oh my God, it was so simple. It's scary.
Yeah, and they know that it's been rigged. So you'd have to go and read that.
And how many people complained while they were standing in the booth? Exactly. I'm voting this, and it keeps flipping to that. That's not.
That is.
Or can't find their vote. I can't find my vote.
Yeah, where's my ballot?
Find her. Yeah, I can't find my ballot.
I can't find mine. I know it got there on October 7th because I voted absentee.
Right. So
and I took it right down to the well, not City Hall. Oh, I can't remember what it's called. No, it's my county office.
County clerk or whatever it is.
Yeah, thank you. My county clerk's office.
Yeah.
And I took it I walked it right in and handed it to them. That was September 23rd. And then on October 7th, it got to the facility to be counted. But I have no proof that it was counted.
Yes, yeah, I can't find that. But that's the main thing we all need to do. Check your ballot and ask for a recount. That's what we
And if anybody knows who you asked for a recount, I would love to have you put that in the chat, because
or how to check the ballot.
What?
I said, or how to check the ballot, because I know I'm going to have to call my state, and I'm calling the White House. Call the White House every day.
I think they may need to throw it all out and count the paper ballots. It was done in the tallying. Okay, White Dragon, let me tell you what we did right before the show.
Exactly.
I was saying right before the show, I keep seeing this picture of the United States and a whole ballot recount all across the United States. So interesting that you should say that.
Yeah,
and we're
still saying yes.
Every single one of us.
It's still saying yes.
Got a pendulum out, and it's still saying yes. We will have a hand recount for the entire United States.
Mine says the same thing.
The 2024 election.
Be recounted.
And I think this is going to happen on or around the 19th, as soon as Pluto goes into Aquarius, because that, we're kind of vibing at that very last degrees of Pluto in Capricorn, very tense, right? Showing
that makes sense.
We're being shown what the top 3% has done these last 18 years. But now, remember, Pluto won't go back into Capricorn for 248 years. You know?
Right.
See? Yes.
I was shuffling and said, will there be a paper ballot recount? And this guy just jumped right out of the deck.
Good. Yep, even this
Can
dwindled.
somebody
But
post the number for the White House?
I
think
have
that
it
would-
right here.
that-
Here, I
Please
have it right
somebody put
here.
it in the chat.
And
I'll put it in.
it just
Thank
dawned
you.
on me, this looks like Neptune.
Wow, it
I
sure
know.
does.
Yes,
Looks
it
like
sure
who?
does.
Right?
Neptune.
Neptune is in Pisces.
Yeah,
the
it
last
does.
sign of the zodiac. His rulership.
I don't know who she said.
Neptune.
Neptune. Yes, it does look
Your
like that.
planet, honey bunny.
Thank you.
Okay, can I put up the
Go ahead. There's so much to say. We could just go on and on.
I want to read this one. For
Okay.
thousands of years on this planet, we have been manipulated into fear and darkness. We have been strategically pitted against each other to stay distracted and in lower vibrational energy. Distracted from what is really happening and lost in our mind rather than connected to our own divine power. It's time to come back to our hearts, to our oneness and the love that we are, to the divine power, the light within all of us holds when we release the lower vibrational energies and see the love and unity of all. This is how we change the planet. This is the new earth. I love that one.
I love it.
Okay.
Lots of stuff happening. Oh, and then we got 11/11 on Monday.
Yep.
Of course.
11/11 on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You want me to read that?
Yeah, please.
Okay. Known as the wake-up code, code of consciousness, code of ascension, and the activation code. 1111 is the master digital code frequency that activates certain neutral pathways within our being to assist in awakening and expansion of our consciousness and carries strong codes of initiation, psychic ability, spirituality, and enlightenment. The 1111 activation codes directly connects us to the 1111 portal of oneness, which is open now and is the gateway between third dimensional and fifth dimension levels of consciousness. 1111 Ascension Portal of 2024 is bringing powerful surge of energy, carrying upgraded crystalline light codes of ascension, triggering new coding and receiving new earth crystalline activations within our DNA, activated by digital code 1111, and unlocking ongoing series of synchronicities. This portal is bringing upgraded divine union light codes and activations for divine union missions, which are extremely important to Earth's continued ascension and moving through the gateway of unity consciousness.
You
I
know,
love it.
I used to be a bartender for the Elks. And every night at 11 o'clock, the bell would toll and the speech would be said in the 11th hour of the 11th day of the 11th month. And that's for the veterans, right? 11/11 is also Veterans Day.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what this is.
Well,
I'm not sure what he's saying here. I tell you all that Mike's guys have surrounded the SCOTUS and sealed them from outside interference because 5 are compromised. Wow. Yeah, we kind of knew 5 were compromised.
mm-hmm.
Okay, thank you, Valerie, for putting the White House phone number up there. And
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 the DOJ.
perfect.
you.
I will start calling like a crazy lady with runners in my
That's
pants.
I know, right?
what I do. I'm like,
I can't even remember the last time I bought a pair of those, let alone wore them.
I mean, if we don't, I don't know. I don't know what we can do. I just feel like it's felt like this for over a year. Something feels imminent, doesn't it?
Yes, it
Don't
does.
you guys
I'm still
feel-
feeling that.
And it's just like constant. Oh,
Good
my
for you,
God.
White Dragon. Good for
Yeah.
you.
And here's that number 5 again.
Mm,
So 5 eyes,
mm.
and then Libby had 5 doves, and here we are with 5 compromised.
Mm.
Interesting.
And 5 eyes is Canada, USA, UK, Australia, and New Zealand.
Mhm.
Oh, brilliant.
And on this full moon, we will have Mars in Leo at 3 degrees. So you see how it's still an orb with that Pluto 29, but it's not as severe as that Cancer 29 and Leo 0. So it's moving away, from that opposition. But Leo and Mars is fire, wants to go, passionate, right? Starting to feel. So we're going to see that with people.
Right.
Especially those who are passionate about their freedoms, things like that. That's going to get really spicy out there because we got that Mars in a fire sign, Leo, who is.
How long is that going to be there?
That's my heart. Okay, till June it goes because it's going retrograde back into Cancer. So this is a really long Mars thing going on. Started out in Cancer as we were building up to the election. Let's just use that kind of as a demarcation point. But then it went into Leo soon after, and it's going to play out, right? It's going to go, I can't remember what degree it turns retrograde, but then it's going to go back into Cancer. So it's going to be like, how do you feel about that? Your safety and security is up for grabs, okay? And then,
Certainly is for women and minorities.
Yes, so then we go back into Leo. When it does go back into Leo, I think February, March, it's like, okay, my soul wants, I want everyone to have their rights and freedoms. That's how I feel right now. But this is, I think, something that's got to play out in a collective where everybody gets that message. Like everybody's rights and freedoms matter, not just yours,
I think he's at like 12 degrees and he goes retro all the way back down to 21 degrees and then turns and goes forward again which now look at the synchronicity, 12 to 21.
Weird.
And, 12 and 21 is Jupiter ruled. It took, we could go there. It just is so much. I mean, look at this. This is November astrology, just aspects, just going on and on and on. But it's kind of, it's been like that since COVID. Not saying it
really has. Just been
really hasn't slowed down at all. What was I looking for? What were you talking about? Mars enters Leo it entered Leo the day before the election. So on the 7th of December is when Mars goes retrograde. Okay, so that's going to be a long, drawn out, and we see, Mars is our action. It's our, especially in Leo, what matters to your heart,
Yeah,
everything.
Absolutely.
And people are going to be, my freedom really matters to my heart,
Well,
pretty much matters to your heart too.
so on the full moon, here we go again, because the mystic rectangle for the full moon is going to be Venus at 4 degrees. I'm sorry, not Venus, Palais Athena at 24 degrees of Sagittarius, parts Fortune at 25 degrees of Libra. Then you're going to jump down there to 21 degrees with White Moon Lilith, Selene. So she's, kind. And she wants to make things come true. And she is of the water, her natural habitat. And then it's on over to 24 degrees of Hygeia. So now this is that full moon opening up yourself to your own healing, which brings us back to what's your core? What makes you happy is what makes you heal.
That's right. Yeah. Follow your bliss. Release whatever is not serving you and open your heart to your bliss.
I don't think a lot of people, like our group, we feel our hearts. A lot of people let their hearts close down. You know?
Yeah, they are. That's true. Otherwise, there wouldn't be so much hate out there right now.
Yeah.
Because the one thing that when I was freaking out over the results was I had no idea there was so much hate for women out there. I had no idea there was so much hate, period, in our country, and that women were hated so much that
Penny,
could happen.
Hi, Penny. But we got to say this: if the results are, which we all know the numbers are
We
not
all know
right.
they're false. No matter what anybody ever says in the future, we all know it was false.
He did not win by that, and there's not that many people that hate women. You know, there's his
I don't
base.
believe there are in this.
No.
it's like
country.
we're
I don't
hating
believe it.
ourselves.
Yeah,
These kind of numbers, it's women hating
Yeah.
women.
yeah, right.
That makes no sense.
No,
No, we've got the same problems.
we got women,
Pause.
and we got women who are trying to have babies but miscarry and being told to sit in the parking lot where the baby and the mom is dying because
Yeah.
nobody wants to help them
Yeah.
out.
What the heck?
What is
Nobody
that?
can afford to. They're afraid of going to prison.
That's
That's why
But
they
they're
want
not
But
even
this
trying
is
to
not-
get an abortion. They're
So
trying to
it's
get
crazy.
So what's next on the chart?
what's next on the chart.
Yeah, back to the chart.
Right.
Go ahead, yeah, do this.
Okay, Venus in Capricorn. Do you want to go there? Thank you, Heather.
Heather's like, "Let's do more."
Okay, so practical matters and the need for your partner's recognition rule supreme under this energy. Unsupportive relationships will not do.
Mhm.
Well, I think that was a big one. Sorry. That
Start with our
relationship
president.
will not work. Go ahead, ladies. What do you got to say about Venus in Capricorn anymore?
Well, she's just very mature and responsible, and
Right.
she knows what she wants, and she knows how to get it. And
Now
and
she's still a ninth star, right? She's
And
not
she has
a
a backup.
star, but you have to think of her as Wonder Woman because that's who she is. She's Athena, Diana, all of all of the goddesses, Artemis, be they Greek or Roman pantheons, that is her summed up, right? So she fights for truth, and now she's in
I
Capricorn.
love that.
And what is Capricorn about? He's the school principal. He's the father figure. He's, the Pope. And when they are standing in integrity,
exactly, it's got to be that. Yeah.
right?
Integrity.
Because we've had bad popes, and you get bad
Yeah.
principals, and you get bad husbands, and you get
Right.
bad dads. But that's not the point. It is she's going to be standing in her integrity, and she's young, so she's still at 4 degrees. She is in that joyful, I believe in this, I think that we can do this, I understand that this is the way to go forward. And then you've got that sextile between Pluto at 29 degrees and Vulcan is at 29 degrees of Scorpio. So okay, there's a nice little sextile going on. What is Vulcan? He is the blacksmith of the universe. He made Thor's hammer. He put all of that together.
Right, he's
So
badass.
this is your first power, your first ray of power and strength is in Vulcan. And now we got Pluto going, oh, hell no. Right? Because he's in Capricorn. And he in Capricorn is certainly about integrity.
But and she's a
And that's
boss.
going to show up in all the stuff that is going on.
Right.
Yeah.
in this chaos.
Absolutely.
Right. And
she-
even though Uranus is now she's retrograde and she is moved in, or she has moved into like 25 degrees, you're talking the strength of Uranus and the strength of Pluto. So I'm going to give him that kind of an orb.
Right.
4-degree orb, I mean, yeah. And so now this is another mystic rectangle trying to formulate itself.
Right, there's a couple of them in here, but she's a
Yeah.
boss in Capricorn. Okay, she's in the cardinal sign. Okay,
Well,
she's a boss, and
So
she's
she
not.
will calm that tight ass.
Yeah,
well,
and
yeah,
she-
because shortly we have Mars going back from Leo back into Cancer, and that's going to be starting to show up the other part of the mystic rectangle. So they're going to be a little cattywampus, a little orb, because he moves faster and she moves faster than the other two planets. But there is still that opportunity where even an orb has strength. So how
Well-
does it affect your?
Right.
the thing that's getting me too, though. Let's go back over to that moon with Uranus.
Thanks,
At
Penny.
sitting.
He's my
with-
cousin, in case nobody knows
Mm.
that. She's very creative, and I want to give her a shout out. She's awesome.
Mars
Who's
is
that?
not just a planet of war, Leah. It's a planet of action. Let's use that word. Okay, now does he always use his head to choose the accurate action to take? Well, it depends on the sign he's in and what aspects it.
Yeah,
So
of course.
you know, but she that Uranus and that moon is sitting with right on top of that Algol, that demon star. The lose your head. Somebody is going, okay, in the collective, something is going to be taken out. You know, we've been watching this Algol Uranus thing, and really, I mean, we've seen how it's,
Off with her head.
you know, played out with the politics
Really?
and stuff, but nothing has really been resolved. But with this moon, I don't know, you know, because it's sitting there. It's come after this election, and as we're still in Scorpio season, this may be the time, because we're in this Scorpio season that we had that Scorpio new moon, we had all that going on. The election, here we are on. It's only the 9th. Goodness, it seems like it's November 45th. You know,
Oh, right. I agree.
yeah, in November.
There's
I don't
also
know
going
how-
to be a hammer of Thor in the sky. I just don't have it decluttered to actually pull it all out and tell
I
you.
know
what
there's
the
so
piece
much
is
stuff
gonna be,
in
but
here.
there'll be a hammer in the. It's been playing over and over and over, and Pluto's usually involved in that hammer. So.
Yeah, he's usually involved in it, and he's gonna okay, because it's just gonna ramp up. As those 29 degrees tick to 59, and he moves into 0 Aquarius on November 19th, we're gonna feel that. That's when you feel that gear shift, like Diana was saying. But up until then, that's all that build-up energy, and that's intense. It's from the last 20 years, 18 years that he's been in Pluto, been in Capricorn. And look at all of that's happened in our world, especially in the top, concerning the top 3%, and money and values and things of value, and, you know, earthly things. You know, it's the biggest transfer of wealth that's happened since 2020 with those tax breaks and that are about to expire or were. You know, I mean, today they just said Tesla was worth $1 trillion. What?
That's crazy.
Where are we? Where are we? I don't even know. So anyway, before I get lost in the sauce again, we got the Venus in Aquarius today. That's important because that's why we're getting into the.
Hang on, let me go to the next.
Well, and what Leah is saying is right. We chose to be here in this specific time. Now, my sign carrying days are over with. I did this once already in the 60s. I burned my bra in the whole 9 yards. But I need the younger generation to step up to those things.
I think they will.
I can do the stuff that needs to be done behind the scenes now.
Yeah, I'm too old to be walking, marching again. Although it was
my
nice.
dogs take it out of me, let alone trying to.
It was fun in
with the
Key West
crowd.
because we had the golf cart. So we did all of the protests for the women's march and stuff in our golf cart, and it made it a whole lot easier on these old ladies.
And as people got tired, they jumped on the back to ride for a little while and then got back off and kept going.
Yeah.
Yes, crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, and White Dragon, I think Elon's going to be held accountable eventually. I don't know, I don't
How do you
see,
hold the richest man on earth accountable?
I don't know. I don't take
Well,
away his government contracts for one. Take away his government contract.
Government contracts with both the U.S. and Russia.
And Russia. And
That's
who else?
insane. How can we have contracts with somebody who does business with Russia? That's nuts. And he should be deported
Well,
Yeah.
and held for treason. But that's just my opinion. Can we go back to this, Heather? Can you read that?
yeah, but before I do, I wanted to say White Dragon had commented that when this is all done, Elon might be in hot water. And I said, no, he's already there.
Yeah.
Yes,
He's
absolutely.
already there. Okay, so it says, the month of November starts with a new moon in Scorpio. Intensity from the opposition of Mars and Pluto may force you to take action. Both Mercury and Mars will enter fire signs, which moves the emotional energy to the water trine to action-oriented fire energy. Venus moves to earthy Capricorn, just in time for the shopping season. Pluto enters Aquarius, which begins its 20-year transformation. Sagittarius season starts and another new moon will close out the final day of the month. All of this creates a changeable environment that could cause us to make decisions and take actions that will have to adjust or renegotiate through January of 2024. You mean to 2025?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. It will be important to pay attention to details and communicate clearly as you start new projects or make agreements. In other words, treat everything like it's Mercury retrograde.
It will be.
Read it twice.
Absolutely.
Wow.
And that's something Diane and I always say too. Take a breath, pause, take another breath, pause. This is not
Stand in your center. Stay
Well,
grounded.
ground, yeah.
And this one good way to do this is it's called a box breath. It's a yoga practice.
Yeah.
And so you inhale for 4, you hold for 4, you exhale for 4, you hold for 4. And so it's like doing, a regular old box dance. But you're just doing it with your breath, and it helps you center. And
It really
even if
does.
an itch comes in while you're doing that, it's just an itch. It'll move away on its own. As long as you just focus on that 4 by 4 by 4 by 4.
I always just hold my heart. Yeah, I mean, it's constant, right? I constantly have to regroup and recenter. Just to.
Oh, I do too. Several times a day.
I mean, it doesn't stop. And I'll read cards, or I'll ask the pendulum, or I'll, meditate.
We need to remember that we're also going through some incredible solar flare. In fact, we're in the middle of what was it? I can't remember the number. I think it was a 2, whatever, block 2.
Well,
a magnetic,
because they all went off
storm
together.
Right now.
Like a whole slew of them went off together.
Yeah, and so watch Stephen. Watch Stephen burn.
Oh my goodness, I didn't get to watch him. I'm gonna have to check it out.
Yeah, I watched him this afternoon and shared it on my Facebook page. Things are amping up. We're still in a portal leading to 11/11 and experiencing X-class flares, and now more high-frequency light coming in to awaken higher consciousness within all of us. Mercury is now in its pre-shadow phase, which will help us shift into a higher reality. The light bringers with pure hearts are taking their place as kings and queens of this new world, and the heavenly energies are flooding the earth to allow your perception to see it unfold now. Whatever is falling apart is allowing you to move into a much more aligned place for this to begin. Spiritual abilities are activating more, and we are being encouraged by our family of light to step into our passions and build the new earth creations. Write your book, get online, paint, sing, dance, bring the codes.
Yep.
Mhm.
So the other thing about that full moon on the 15th is, for me, it's at 3:48 in the afternoon, and it'll be 23 degrees and 59 minutes direct across from the sun. But Uranus is at 25 degrees, so a couple of hours later, it will be exact conjunct, but you are certainly going to be feeling it at that time. And
Right.
right after that, like 6 hours later, that moon is going to be conjunct Sedna at 0 degrees of Gemini, right? So where are we? What is one of the biggest things we're fighting for right now?
Freedom.
Freedom.
Ladies,
Freedom.
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 our own health, right?
Yeah.
What?
To have the
Freedom
right
to own
with
my
our own
body.
health.
Yeah.
So at 24 degrees of Aries,
Oh, I love you
where
too.
Uranus is at 25 degrees of Taurus, here we are again with that parallel, that 30 degrees, that 29 degrees of, ooh, what the heck, what's going on? So that 24 degrees of Hygeia is in the 12th house, right on the cusp. At that time, it's on the rising sign for my area, or anybody's, just adjust for your time zone. And then Uranus is in the first house. I mean, my.
That's how I have it. Yeah. For us.
And so, yeah, where's the lightning bolt that's going to get us out of the illusion that they're trying to create?
That's
over
on
us
the
not
East
having
Coast.
our own dominion on our bodies.
Right. And that's going to play out on the East Coast of DC. Think of that. There's going to be something. Definitely, I think on this, at least on the East Coast, I would assume it would be a political thing, because
Well,
that's what the main
like
focus right
what Newcomb did, or in California,
Newsom.
and Governor, my darling Whitner over here, she's already done that.
What?
Right when this stuff came down,
What did they do?
that abortion is legal here.
I'm not following you. What did the two governors do?
Well,
Newsom.
is introduced. Oh God, now the word just escaped my mind. A mandate about it, and two things he did, and one of them is about abortion. And Whitmer took care of this a while ago, and the state voted on it in the midterms, or right when it all happened, the midterms came around.
Mhm.
And so the state voted on it, and it stands.
Good. Good for those that were able to do that. And I'm sure California, it's legal as well. I don't know. I have no idea.
now.
Well,
It's
he
just,
mandated so that it doesn't get.
Yeah, exactly.
Well,
So what we need
right
to
now,
do-
because we're in the heat of it, I can't remember all the little details. So sorry, I apologize.
That's all right.
Look it up though.
So right now in this political situation, don't entertain negative energy. Some situations will test your patience and try to make you overreact, overthink, and respond to things that don't deserve your life force. Isn't that the truth? Your attention is your power. Don't feed what doesn't add value to your life. Conserve your energy and evolve. I love that.
That's just like the card that I pulled. Know where your energy is going. Make sure it's where you want it to go.
Oh, I love that. So true. Let me see if there's any more. I think that might have been the last one.
I had sent you a couple. I don't know.
Oh,
Here they
they're
are.
in here. They're all in here. Whatever you sent.
Yeah, there's all the retrogrades come now. See, Saturn comes out first. Mercury goes into retrograde. Well, comes. What am I doing? Oh, that's December.
On
Jeez.
the day that Rashawn's supposed to be in court with Oompa Loompa.
What day is that?
the 26th.
Mm. Which is the golden age. I like this. I like this one. Go ahead.
And this is kind of a reminder to everybody. The
Mm.
golden age doesn't magically appear. We have to create it. Do not hang your head and choose to do nothing in a world that needs all of our participation. It's our responsibility as a collective to take a stand for what is right, no matter how uncomfortable it feels. We are the ground crew paving the way for the new earth, but there's much cleaning up and rebuilding to do, and we are the builders. There is still so much truth about crimes against humanity that needs to be revealed for witnessing and transmutation before we can truly evolve collectively. We must call on our inner warriors and be brave and courageous on behalf of the souls of humanity. We must take accountability for our lives, our planet, our behaviors, our thoughts, emotions, beliefs, and actions, and do our part to heal and change the world, because our future is in our hands.
Amen. I think that's a really good one to end on.
And you gotta think, right? We're in Scorpio season, who is, I mean, consistently 24/7, every moment, digging underneath digging it up so we can see it. So then we have all these different aspects come up to this full moon in Taurus. Now Taurus is like, but I like, they like their safety and security. They like their comfort, so this is another good thing. Self-care, go all out for yourself. Really, like, whatever it is, because you need that. But okay, this is going to sound terrible, but let's just say our safety and security seemingly is taken from us. What do you do then? We still have to be in our own power, and we have to keep going and exist as things are. Okay, now I hope we don't have to do that, and we'll talk about that if that happens to be the way forward. But right now, we got to check our vote, ask for recounts, call everybody. Don't let this just slip away.
And send love. Love is the only way to transmute.
Love is the drug. I've been looking.
Love is the drug.
Love
It really is.
Always wins.
Right? It's the only way. I mean, all of this, I stand in my power in love. I'm not angry at anybody. I'm not even angry at Trump. As much as he irritates me, it's just like, come on now. Why do we have to, we're going to argue over freedoms and rights we've had for 248 years? What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I love what Laurie says here, be the hope of things to come. It's what I heard while I was waking up this morning. I love that it goes with the final message of tonight.
Oh my God, we've got somebody get rid of Tarot Destroyer, please.
Please.
Let's see.
What is it? What's a Tarot Destroyer?
It's a I think I got it.
I got it.
It's okay.
It's a bot.
It's a bot. And I can't believe I didn't. I usually put, subscribers only. I didn't realize I hadn't done it to this. I apologize, you guys. Yeah, that one shows up every time I forget. Every single time I forget. It's crazy. Anyway, ladies, thanks for you both being here today and
You're welcome.
Through this. Heather, thank you for indulging us in the political stuff.
All right.
Thank you for curbing us. I appreciate it.
Actually, the political stuff is actually part of what's going on with the astrology.
It can't be helped.
Yeah, it really can't be helped. And I got solid.
Oh, he's back.
Oh,
that's
sorry.
I got solid. Hell with him. And unknown territory. So think about that when you're meditating. Where are you going? What are we creating? How do we want to create it? Our creation abilities are not contingent upon anyone telling us whether we have our rights or not. We decide that.
Exactly.
And I got get more information. And then here's our dragon. Oh,
Yeah. Oh, look how beautiful.
this is the Asclepius. Asclepius was a Greek. And this is about the way forward and ascension. Just think of it that way.
Absolutely.
So more information.
Stay in love.
And the two cards that I had, I return to this one all the time.
I love it.
Oh my goodness, that's so important.
Energy.
I love
Look,
that.
that's her energy column.
And we are returning to our wholeness. Get rid of the tarot destructor.
Oh my God, I can't seem to get, he comes back every single time.
Oh, look at all what he's got there. That's ridiculous.
I've banned him 3 times. We better go, ladies.
Anyway, thank you
Love you all.
so much
Thank you,
for
everybody,
working
for being here.
Mwah.
letting us know what's
Penny,
going
I'm
on.
so glad you made it. And everybody else who is here, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you so very, very much.
It was so much fun. Thank you.
Thank you, ladies.
Thank you. We love you. We'll be back.